Hello, my YouTube friends. So last week, a funny thing happened. I posted a video about Genshin Impact and the fact that I am not enjoying the game as much as I used to. So, for those of you who are very critical, keep in mind that if you like the game and you're enjoying it and you love it and you're logging in every day and having as much fun as you did on the first day you started playing the game, and that's okay. I'm okay with you guys enjoying the game. I was just mentioning that the voice actors, the lack thereof for the English dub, was hindering my enjoyment of the game. But that's not the only issue I have with Genshin Impact. So here's a follow-up video to that one. And yes, the voice acting, or the lack of, is just taken me out of the immersion. But I've been also, I'm not going to get into every single thing that annoys me in the game because no game is perfect. Let's get that out of the way. But when I first started playing Genshin Impact, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I, got so many friends into it, all of which have pretty much given up on it. Today, what I want to talk about specifically is the storytelling. Now, I'll grab these examples, and I don't know if you'll be able to follow me. But let's just say that I am of a certain age, so I know that the game is not meant for me. But initially, when the game was released, it was for 14-year-old adolescents going into adulthood, and it reflected it in its dialogue and the storytelling. I mean, some of the main quests were pretty basic, but you would meet characters, and I'll take one or two here, like Lisa. Lisa was always hinting or having this innuendo and kind of making kind of sort of advances towards the traveler, male or female, whether you take Aether or Lumine. She was overly friendly, and you can read in between the lines. Therefore, it was something that was grabbing my attention. And even when we got to Leeway, and I did this little side quest for, I think her name is Yinger. She's the shop assistant for the Scent of Spring. And I mean, she would just constantly hit on the traveler. But it wasn't obvious. You had to read in between the lines. And that's kind of what I'm lacking now. The stories were intricate. Some of them were pretty obvious, but still going through the journey of the storytelling. It wasn't perfect, but it kind of kept you on the edge of your seat as to what would happen next. And once we got to Sumeru, and everybody's gonna know what I'm talking about, there's this quest that you repeat it over and over and over again, and it's just a bunch of texts on the screen that you click over and over again. I don't know how many hours I spent doing it, trying to grasp it, and that just broke the immersion of the main storytelling. But it was no longer catered towards a more mature. It seemed that it was getting dumbed down. So not only did I not like the interactions, but I didn't really like the dialogue. I didn't really like where the story is going. And, a lot of people are like 50-50. Obviously, my friends and I, being of an older age, were like, initially I thought it was like kind of cool. And then it's like they're feeling like they're playing their kid's game. It wasn't meant for us anymore. Even when we got to Fontaine, And that's pretty much where I lost all of my friends. They just didn't like the design or the storytelling. I mean, I always hated Child, and I was hoping something bad would happen to him during the trial. Some of my friends really liked him, so they didn't want to see anything happen to him, but they didn't like the story overall, and it wasn't the part of the game that was keeping them interested anymore. And, I'm pretty much the only one of my friends that went through the Notland story. And again, it's just, I mean, you go through, 5.0, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and basically you're trying to find a name. It's, I mean, what is there to keep me interested in this storytelling? So, yeah, it went from, being 14 and up, and I would even say around 18, 20-ish, to a game or a storytelling that was catering to the 8 to 12-year-olds. So, yeah, it doesn't have this innuendo, it doesn't have this complex dialogue, and how can I say, there's a lot of people have been mentioning it, like my friends since the beginning, the fact that the main characters don't really have any voice lines. Uh, that was kind of okay-ish. I understand that having two characters, it was easier for them to just have Paimon, be the voice acting for the main characters. But even as of late, it's like everybody explains to you that you need to kind of, okay, we need to get you a name. Then you go and do this quest, you come back, there's more dialogue, and Paimon just repeats everything that you've done. So we're telling you you're going on this quest to get a name. So you do have a couple of fight scenes, a couple of cut scenes. Then when everybody comes back together, Paimon is like, oh, well, we had to do this and we had to do that. We haven't gotten a name yet, but we're still working on it. It's like it's rinse, repeat, but you're trying to explain it to a 2-year-old at this point. And it's just like they're extending the dialogue just so that you keep on playing hours and hours and hours. But nothing of consequence happens. Nothing of substance is being said. So, yeah, the storytelling has been, really been a downer for me. And, at some point when you finish the Archon quest and you're just waiting for the next patch and the next story, you kind of try out other games. So this video is not intended to compare it to another one, but I've been playing Wuthering Waves, and it was far from perfect when it came out, but the storytelling is getting to a point where, yeah, this is not for kids, folks. Yes, kids can play. I just don't think that kids will be understanding the innuendos. So everything has like a double meaning, so kids can enjoy it and take a certain scene or a certain story and see it from one perspective, and then the adults in the room will be seeing it from another eye, which is always fun, having a double-edged sword throughout the storytelling. So, and then there's like many things, like just logging in to do your dailies every day, and you're hoping, you're keeping yourself interested for the story, and then the story's a letdown. So I'm not even going to get into the power creep. That's one of the main reasons. Everybody had their issues with the game being like a power creep. You always have to go and get the new character, and the abyss keeps getting more HP and getting harder, so you always have to get the new characters. And You know, some people just want to play the characters that they like, that they interacted with. And, you know, the fact that they don't no longer have any voice actors to do the voice lines, etc., etc., the story's no longer catered for them and just grinding to get the new character. It's just not, you know, interesting for an older audience. So, like I said, if you're still enjoying the game and all that stuff, so be it. I have no issues because I'll be one of the first to admit that last week's video that I posted. Obviously, a lot of people are toxic, so there's some hardcore defenders of this game that will defend it no matter what. I'm just wondering if they actually tried playing other games, comparing it, and just being able to look at the games from a different perspective. You know, if you've tried other games, what did you not like in those other games? So, and if you didn't like it, then I can understand that too. So, yeah. So one of the main issues is the storytelling. The voice actors really, really kind of put the nail in the coffin for me. And, yeah. But the story has been going downhill for quite some time. That's just my opinion. And just the game physics, the way the game looks, feels, compared to some other titles now. I just wish that, you know, Genshin Impact made HoYoverse a lot of money. And it it's apparent to me that they did not reinvest as they should have into the bread and butter. Instead, they're, you know, spending budgets on making other games. And those other games, you know, every patch that comes out, you get a free 10 pull or a free character, whatnot, which Genshin, you know, never gives you. So if you're hoping that the game will change and you're just sticking on to the game, hoping that it'll get better, the snail pace may or may not suit you. So again, just my opinion. Please like, share, and subscribe. It would really help out my little channel. Everybody, have fun playing the games you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.